Good morning. I have so much to be grateful and appreciative for in my walk with Christ. And I think it's because I recognized at an early age that God was worthy of serving. My testimony is all about how God has been faithful to his promise. My mother had me trusting and depending on God at 5 years old. I gave my life to Christ at 12 and would tithe and sing songs and go to church programs and read the Bible and just commune with God. And mostly, I was excited to do all of it. My family life did take a hit, though. Although my father worked 45 minutes away and had a separate house since I was small, my parents officially separated when I was in the 6th grade. It was hard to articulate how that affected me, and I couldn't really talk to my mom either because she was going through. The one person I could talk to was God, praying and asking God why, and to help me and to ease my mother's pain. And as a preteen, talking to someone you can't see, to make your whole world work again is a testimony in itself as I look back on it. But he helped me and my mom through. But the problem that I had was I started to lean more on me and less on him because of how easy things had been given to me by God and his grace. The hardships of living on my own and going to school for engineering and relationships started to weigh heavy. And I remember my junior year, I was feeling the weight of it all, and I was sitting up, just stressed out, contemplating everything. And I really didn't have anywhere to turn. I called the person that I felt like was the only person I could call at that time, was my mom. And that was at 3 a.m. in the morning. And although my mom did answer, she wouldn't let a grown man vent and cry about his situation. She basically cut me off and abruptly told me, "This sounds like a you problem, son. You need to figure it out." This left me with no friends, no woman, no girl, no mother or father to turn to. My grades were slipping. My full ride was only for 4 years. But I'm at my rock bottom at this point. I can't afford to eat. I'm relying on people to give me a place to stay. But the Lord was still making a way. He provided me shelter, gave me transportation, food. I was never hungry. I wasn't starving, but I was hungry. Let me get that straight. Ended up meeting my wife, Vanessa, who at the time, I knew she was special, but I didn't quite know at that point to what extent of what a blessing she was. My life had done a full 180. The world seemed rosy again. But of course, right when I got a wife and a car and a house and started to have things go back my way because of the reason that I did it, I started being selfish again. And it wasn't until my son was born that I realized, Charles, you could end up right back where you just came from. But you're called to glorify God. And it's clear that there's a purpose because he won't allow you to mess it up. But Charles, don't make the mistake of you having to end up in the lion's den to glorify God. And what would that mean for your wife? What would that mean for your son? At this point, what would that mean for my daughter? All blessings that were given to you by the one that I was ignoring. And it was then that I wanted to be saved from my sin, not for me, but for his glory. But above and beyond that, because he was beaten and lifted up and died on a cross, but 3 days later he rose to defeat sin and death and give us all the right to eternal life, he is worthy. My hope is that if it be his will, that there is a lion's den that has my name on it, that because he is worthy, he gets the glory. And my hope for everyone listening is that you come to not only know, but serve fervently a faithful promise keeper, the one and only true and living God, that so loved you and I that he sent his son Jesus to pay a debt that we could never repay. He's able. My hope is that you try him for yourself and be revealed the true nature and reverence of a holy God.